100,000 over there too. So, what is it? I believe, one thing, Lee, the HBO is starting to sound a lot like the UFC. I used to criticize the UFC a lot back in the day when it seemed like Joe Rogan always used the term, "This is the greatest fighter. This is the most anticipated match ever." Damn, it seems like in the last 2 weeks, HBO has been throwing out the best pound for pound guy on like 4 people. You could go Sergey, Andre, Chocolito, Triple G. Oh, that's 5. And last night we have Canelo. I mean, everybody's the pound for pound great on HBO.
Well,
Every
here's the
fight
thing.
is a
Look.
classic. It's like, come on.
Okay. Look, the housing, the marketing group, right? The marketing group over for the people at HBO. Tell them to do that. I mean, they're not creative enough to come up with that on their own. Maybe in Joe's point of view, Joe used to do it a lot, but the reason I bring it up is you have to build the hype. Okay, you have to make people feel like it's important. Honestly, I never felt that Liam was a threat. I never thought he was a threat.
No, he shouldn't have. He hasn't done anything to make us feel that, Lee.
And if everybody wants me to feel warm, and like, here's my problem with the whole thing. Okay, my massive issue. The second the fight's over, social media blows up with Canelo, who walks around like the biggest swinging dick in the yard and starts bad-mouthing Triple G. Now, I realize that if you follow, and I say this to everybody, if you follow all the social media and all the newscasts, here's the truth. 90% of the shit you see on the internet, right, about Triple G talking trash or about Canelo talking trash or Oscar talking trash is literally clickbait on the internet.
Yeah.
It's just bullshit made up by boxing websites or writers.
That's everything, but yes.
That's legit.
Yes.
And I don't think people get that. Oh, I read this. Unless you read their physical Twitter, okay, and see the comment. And that's my problem. The only time Canelo opens his mouth is right after a fight directly on Twitter. He and Oscar go into their Triple G thing. And Triple G, by his part, turned around and did the same thing last night. All 3 of them did it, right? Oscar did his, Triple G would never do these kinds of numbers. He needs us. We don't need him. Canelo did his Triple G's a punk-ass bitch routine. And Triple G just called it the way he saw it. We offered him $10 million. We just threw money on the table. Guaranteed money for him. And he's not signing the fight. So
no, that's what Canelo did. Canelo and them are saying they threw 10 million. Lee, they threw a flat offer. No split. Hey, who the fuck is going to sign that? Triple G's last fight was in 100 countries. 100. It's the most watched HBO fight this year. And you're going to give him a flat fee? Come on.
Yeah, well, here's the reality.
Bullshit. It's bullshit. That's the reality. Saul Alvarez went on the interview last night with Max Kellerman and delivered nothing but lies.
It's on Boxing News right now and everywhere else. De La Hoya, Golovkin needs to sign the contract and take the flat fee. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He has all the belts.
And he's hella bigger than your guy. He's way big. He's
not coming down. You know what? Triple G's the smartest guy in the room. By and large, he kept his mouth shut.
Hey, Lee.
He's got all the belts.
He is under that banner of those 2 brothers that you say are pretty smart. What are those guys' names? Those heavyweights?
Klitschko,
K2, baby.
Yeah, he's K2. And K2 played by the same formula, which is, hey, you beat everybody up, you get all the belts, and they'll come to you.
The money will come.
Everybody can dispute the Klitschko formula, but I think the most important thing of the week was Klitschko in his interview for his fights with Tyson Fury basically looked into the camera and said, everybody should be afraid I'm coming back for all of my belts. Yeah. I want every single one of my belts back. And I'm not going to stop fighting until I get all of my belts back.
That's what we need.
Well, you got that. You'll have Triple G. Because you're not going to get here. Listen, Canelo fans. Canelo sucks.
He's a good power puncher. Stop
it. He's going to have he's going to be Floyd Mayweather. He's going to be a 1-belt Johnny.
Hey, I'll tell you this.
He's going to be a 1-belt Johnny.
I'll tell you this.
Canelo is a 1-belt Johnny.
The uppercut now Kell Brooks seemed to have a lot of success with in the Triple G fight. Triple G better clean that up because Canelo throws a beautiful one. It's going to be really interesting. But I seen that uppercut land on Triple G a lot in his last fight, and I know Saul knocks people
I'd
out with
like to
it.
see him do that. You know what? I'd like to see him try to do that to Timothy Bradley. Let's see somebody who can take a punch.
Who? Canelo and Timothy Bradley?
Sure.
We could go with. I don't know. At least I think they got to go higher. If they're
No, here's what they're going to do. They're going to take little tiny guys who will come up to fight the bigger guy. That's the formula here.
Bradley did offer 160.
I am wondering when Oscar's going to turn his attention and try to get Manny Pacquiao in the ring with Canelo Alvarez.
They tried. I think that boat has passed. I think Top Rank is now going to keep Manny to themselves as much as they can and try to keep that in.
Well, and I suspect that they'll keep Top Rank's going to keep Tim, Manny, Jet. They're going to keep all their welterweights to themselves. They're just going to.
They have a man named Terrence Crawford Lee, and he needs to clean all that up. And I suspect that Timothy Bradley and Manny Pacquiao are both on Terrence Crawford's hit list.
Of course they are. They're waiting to see what Manny does with the taco eater.
I'm going to give you another analogy I'm tired of by HBO.
By the way, I don't want anybody to get mad at me for calling Jesse Vargas a taco eater. That wasn't my line. That was Max Kellerman's line. and still, Max Kellerman has a job with HBO. But fortunately, HBO's not in the boxing business much anymore.
No, they're not. They're not. Whoever's running this boxing program don't know shit about boxing.
Once he loses that gig, he'll be making 50 grand a year doing ESPN radio at drive time in New York.
The sad thing is, I don't know if he's going to lose it, Lee. He seems untouchable. There's no one under Max that's going to take his job when Jim leaves. And he's kind of said some of the most foolish things already. He talked about beating his wife. Hello?
No, he called a Mexican. Look, dude, I'm from East
LA. No, I get it all. I get it.
I can't even imagine walking in anywhere a Hispanic person is and going, yeah, taco eater? Like, I don't even see how that works in any sentence other than, would you like to eat her taco eater? That's the only way it doesn't become offensive. And it's still offensive.
The Mexicans heard it. Mexicans just they don't cry about words. What they do is they react. And I'm sure Max Kellerman has been in a few situations in Las Vegas where he had a couple intoxicated Mexicans that were chasing him all the way to the arena. I'm sure that has happened to Max over some of the comments that he's made towards Mexicans and Mexican fighters. Throughout his years, the taco one not being the only time he's ever messed up on air. Last night, though, the analogy that if you come straight forward, Canelo looks great. Lee, where does that work in any other sport? Let's think middle linebacker position. Let's think home run hitter here. Let's think tennis players.
Well, no, we could think.
When do they ever say?
We could. No,
if you throw it right down the middle, he will smash that ball. But if you throw an off speed or a curve, he doesn't look that great. Are we stupid or something? Of course, if you walk straight towards Canelo, he's going to look great. Who the fuck wouldn't look great as a professional fighter? It's so stupid how don't blame Canelo for dodging him. I feel sorry for him. I blame Oscar. Why? Let me tell you this, people. Canelo walks around with, I don't fear anyone. Canelo don't back down. You either back down from Triple G or you back down from Oscar De La Hoya. But you fear somebody because you wanted the fight, but you didn't take the fight. Why not? I thought you fear no man. I thought everyone listens to you, Mr. Alvarez. Get the fuck out of here with these BS lies. Another thing I had on last night, the Tecate commercial, that black eagle now symbolizes Triple G. Every time I see that black eagle on the Tecate commercial, I'm going to think of Triple G. Did you see how the Black Eagle takes the crown, the championship from Canelo, and then he walks in the ring and the commercial goes, he doesn't need a title. What the hell does that mean, Lee? Did they actually bring in that Canelo dumped his title into their commercial?
Yes.
So that every time I see that Tecate symbol now, that's Triple G's. Tecate belongs to Triple G. I think they were doing that for him. I'm just saying.
So what is Canelo now? He's the WBO
junior middleweight. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here you go with this one, fans. He don't fear no man, right? Wanted to fight, has an offer for the fight with Triple G, but gives up his title and fights for a title 6 pounds lower. How's that work?
So, like I said, he's going to continue to fight welterweights at junior middleweight. That's what he's going to do.
The fans showed up. I don't know what the pay-per-view numbers are going to be, but 51,000 looks good on TV. Oscar, and look, Lee, I get what you're saying.
So what welterweight is next?
What
It's going to be a welterweight. Let's face reality. He's not going to. There's nobody in the junior. Let's be honest. There's nobody in the junior middleweight category that's going to draw numbers next time. All right. He's going to get labeled like Floyd, and Oscar doesn't want that for his guy. He's not going to fight an actual middleweight because they're too big. So he's going to fight a welterweight, and he's got to fight one of the top 10 welterweights. He's got to fight a name in this next fight.
Yeah.
I'll give you the list.
What?
He can fight Keith One-Time Thurman.
No, Lee, that's PBC. They're not doing that. There's a
Right.
lawsuit out.
Errol Spence.
It's PBC, bro.
Yeah. Sean Porter. PBC.
Yeah.
He's not going to get Pacquiao.
Nope.
He's not.
Nope.
He's not going to get Kell Brooks because it's already been decided.
Oh, HBO is interested in Kell Brooks for May of 2017, though, so you're onto something there. Kell Brooks is in the running for Saul Alvarez.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yep. The guy hasn't even healed on his eye socket, and they're already giving him his next fight.
Danny Garcia's PBC.
Danny Garcia's a punk. He'll be in the news, but he's taking on John Molina Jr. Lee, how about that one?
Yeah.
John Molina.
Right. There you go. Frankie Gomez.
Oscar, Frankie's been that prospect that's been in and out of trouble his whole career. They might throw him to the wolves. I don't know. Josito Lopez kind of.
I could actually see that fight as I look at the top 10 in the welterweight division, because it's not going to be Bradley, it's not going to be Berto, and it's not going to be Vargas. Okay, that leaves you one name that just glows on that page: Frankie Gomez, right?
And he's Golden Boy, but Lee,
and he's Golden Boy.
But, I mean, Lee, that'd be out of left field. I'll give you an award if this fight gets made. I don't know if.
Do you really think he's going to fight a junior middleweight next? Do you really think he's going to fight somebody at the correct weight class?
I believe they have to start looking towards the middleweight division. Look at Oscar is telling us that he needs Saul to get ready. That's one of his BS lies that he's been telling everyone is he's got to prepare himself for the 160 division. He's just not going to take on the best fighter in the world without a few fights. At some point, they're going to have to make the transition.
All right. Well, let's talk about, just because we're still here on the topic, all right? He's not going to fight Lara because that doesn't draw money.
And he already
Lara
did.
He hasn't drawn a dime, okay, in the division. All right?
I think, hey, Lee, can I go back to something? Remember when I was calling for Lara to fight Triple G, and I thought Triple G needed Lara at that particular moment? Does the Kell Brook fight show us why maybe Triple G wants no part of Esrelandi Lara? Kell Brook was landing a lot of punches, Lee. The movement, I don't know if Triple G, maybe they know something that all of us rest don't about Triple G. But Lara looks like a very, very difficult match at this point for Saul Alvarez and Triple G now. I think that, if I was Lara, I'd go full steam again. I'm calling you out again, Lara. You did it last time. If anyone's listening and knows Lara, I'd be all over Triple G's ass again because he kind of looks like he has trouble with boxers, and Lara's one of the best. We all know he's one of the best. Probably was robbed in the Canelo fight. We know that. So we know Floyd.
What about Jermont Charlo?
Nah, these are all PBC. He ain't fighting no one. Right. He's probably going to fight
Demetrius Andrade.
Andrade? No, I don't think he's PBC.
He got the decision against Vanes recently.
And he's mandatory. Look at Andrade's calling out Canelo right now. It's a possible fight because Andrade's not going to demand a lot of money. They can take this fight to Texas again and do 51,000 and great pay-per-view numbers, at least in the 300,000. We'll see what Saul does on this fight, but I'm expecting them to make a pretty good penny. And why I say that, Lee, is because they don't have to generate a lot of pay-per-view buys to make to make Golden Boy a profit on Canelo. Canelo doesn't get.
Oh, you know who he's going to fight next? I just realized it looking at the list. I can tell you, like, my two choices in either the welterweight. I know it now.
What?
Because I'm going through the list thinking one of the Charlo brothers. No, PBC. Would it be J Rock?